I now request our learned speakers, Shri Madanlalji Gundecha and Shri VGK Prasadji, to take the dais for any questions that our delegates may have. Open house sessions. Please feel free to raise your questions. Two very learned members of our industry.
We have got a panel deficiency. A third panelist is not here. Anyway, this open house is not to answer your questions. It's almost a brainstorming session where we are going to discuss practically what we are facing, the difficulties. Though we are sitting here, just that the dais is not left blank, not necessary that we are only going to answer the questions. Members can share their experience, share any instances which are worth sharing here. Even for questions, answers can come from the floor also. So this is almost a very free session with a brainstorming. So I would like members to interact more than us. Floor,
yes,
mic floor per rakh do.
Yeah, I am Devryan, founder and managing director of NKC Finance, a startup NBFC. I want to interact regarding the recent dividend policy of NBFCs announced by Reserve Bank of India. RBI says that those companies where the net NPA is less than 6% only can declare dividend, and dividend for the current year has been restricted to 50% of the payout. Dividend payout has been reduced. I would like to know, it is our own money. We already set aside 20% of the profits as statutory reserves. Beyond this, why RBI is insisting on that? Can association take up this matter?
Your question is, why should RBI restrict? It is our own money. We have the view of the RBI is, most of our NBFCs take money from banks. So there is public money involved in our business. See, if your NPS go be above 6%, they feel that there is some risk to the money that is being lent by the banks. Not only our money, but also money to them. There is a view they have taken. I don't think there will be any change in the policy. We can try to convince them, but it's a very difficult challenge. And this 6% will be breached by many NBFCs once a new RBI NPA norm regulation comes into force. This is going to be a challenging time for us. So anyway, it can also be an advantage that you don't pay dividend, you improve your net worth and you leverage it more. You know, this is an opportunity in adversity. Anyway, your point, I think the Federation should take up with the regulator. And a lot of times we have come disappointed. Even this guideline on NPA provisioning, in fact, that we wanted it to be waived, but finally they have agreed to defer it.
We spoke about a lot of regulation that are coming up, in the next few months. We spoke things about standardization of NBFCs. We spoke about things that are impacting NPAs. So one general request to the association is, if a lot of these regulations can be archived in a way that's easier for members, because even while discussing, there were different viewpoints and there were new regulations that were being brought to the fore. I think it will be helpful to the members if they can be summarized. I understand there is always fine prints on how to interpret, but at least if they can be collated, just a request that it will be useful. That's one request. The other question is, if you can talk about this whole NPA and after NPA, what it takes to make it a standard loan. I think that will be useful.
Sorry, your second question, the first question, I think Federation would be more than willing to take up and, as I say, and give a detailed information to all the members regarding the regulatory things. Your second question is, what I didn't comprehend it clearly. Can you say it again? From NPA to regular? It has to be. Yeah, I think the recent guidelines of RBI, which has been deferred that I was referring to, if an account becomes an NPA, so we are in March, if it breaches 90-day norm as on 19th, on 20th we have to declare it as an NPA. Now, that is a reason. Earlier the practice was that we wait until the end of the month. After the month end, then we declare it as an NPA. Now it is on a daily basis, number one. Second is, if it is an account is past due by 90 days, then if the customer pays one, it comes back into 60 days. So then it need not be classified as an NPA as per old norms. But now RBI says, if it once it has become an NPA, until the entire outstanding, both principal and interest is paid, it cannot be declassified. So it will continue as an NPA. I remember this was mentioned in Basel 6 norms for banks. I don't know how it has come into our NBFC thing. But anyway, we are going to be viewed as rigorously as banks. This is the new norm.
Of course, this is a very damaging regulation or compliance we can call, because, for example, 3 ड्यू बाकी है, 2 ड्यू भरता तो स्टैंडर्ड बन जाता था. अब 3 की 3 भरना नहीं दे, the customer can pay, nor I can upgrade to standard asset. So this is going to be difficult for the customer as well as for the finance company also. And many companies will face degradation or whatever you call it because of this. But I think practically this will not work, sir. I think we have to wait and see, and the RBI may relook at it. Because any default, there is no history where the entire default amount is paid in one stroke.
Our profile of customers, if he can pay the entire amount one time, why would he go beyond 90 days at all first time? These are all only one single vehicle owners, driver come owners. The financial inclusion that the government is trying to do, we are doing it. But again, elevating us at par with the banks is something very unfair. But anyway, this has been represented. Good thing is that it has been referred. Not only this NPA thing, once it becomes an NPA, you can't book profit on the interest. Interest and income on the NPA cannot be earned. Our profitability will go down. Once the profitability goes down, then the rating agencies, all these people will say, no, your profitability has fallen. Why should I not reduce our rating? Once the rating reduction happens, then the banks will become uncomfortable. They will say, there is a higher risk with you. We can increase your rate of interest, or we can even say that we will not give you any more funding. This is a challenge that can come up. I think this needs to be taken. FIFA is taking up. FIDC also, we have been in touch with them. They said they also have taken up. The presentation has gone twice. I think, I thought someone from TTS or from Sriram would have come here. Then it would have been helpful, we would have taken it up. But I think Mr. TTS is on the committee of Reserve Bank of India. We have to talk to them and take them to the Reserve Bank and convince them about this thing.
Sir, to add up to your thing, I would like to clarify. See, many banks and finance institutions had a habit of, in the name of restructuring the loan, when it came to an NPA stage, they will ask 1 due to be paid or 2 dues to be, some servicing of the loan being done, and they took it to the normal position. See, this was the practice. Or another thing they were doing is, they give another loan to that party, fresh loan, and ask them to pay this balance outstanding. So before it become NPA. So this was the things done by many banks in the back door. And thereby now resulting into lot of NPAs and runaways, absconding, everything, scams like this. This is an unfair practice as per the banking industry. See, he can be given time or reconstruction can be made. But giving loan on another side before it becomes NPA and asking him to service the previous debt, many banks have done it. by increasing the limits, ad hoc sanctions like that and all. See, there is why RBI is now forced on this and asked to classify everything as a NPA. I doubt how RBI will view on our representation.
Sir, this is something different. This norm was there for RBI, for banks even earlier. That has been brought in for NBFCs now. So if banks have done something, nothing we can do about it, and we cannot throw souls at the banks, there's nothing we can do. Regarding NBFCs, this restructuring also has happened. There is a special facility
Sir,
given.
restructuring is allowed, sir. This is not restructuring. This is in giving another loan before becoming a particular loan becoming NPA. Then asking him to service the old debts. That is a malpractice.
That is an irregularity where we cannot discuss in this open house. If there is something done, that is a violation of RBI guide. We cannot discuss that here.
But the only difference I find here is when the government or the RBI wants us to practice the same compliance which banks are doing. In case of banks, the total NPA provision is out of tax net. But for NBFC, only 5% they allow. If they want us 90 days, let them give us also exemption. Otherwise, when you say at par you have to create provision like a bank, then give us at par tax benefit also. Here you say only 5%, there you say 100%. I think this is a strong case of discrimination, which FIDC, they are more affected because larger companies are there, but people can join them and this can make. No, when you say we are at par with bank, yes, we are at par with bank. Treat us in taxation also at par with bank. You cannot have one for other thing for other thing.
What our friend is suggesting, it is not restructuring. In banking terms, that is called evergreening. Yeah, that is the different part of the story. Let us not discuss about it. And regarding restructuring, as per extent RBI circulars pertaining to NBFC, we cannot do restructuring after 30th September. Okay.
Good afternoon. I am Raj Bhandari from Rich Finance Incorporation, Chennai. Although it was discouraged in this forum, I would still like to know a few things about taking over an existing NBFC. Three-step question is, my question is three-step. One is, how do we arrive at the valuation of an NBFC? Because right from namesake NBFC, we get a NBFC with a particular book size. So what are the parameters we should look at to arrive at the valuation? And second thing is, can we conduct a scrutiny or audit where we can, arrive at all the litigations or any, illegal activities already conducted in the NBFC and absolve ourselves of that responsibility while taking over? And third thing is there a marketplace where buyers and sellers of NBFCs meet online or virtual, whatever?
The first question and second question are similar. See, forget an NBFC, any takeover, any strategic interest, even for example, a private equity comes into your company, anybody who is going to invest in the company is going to do a due diligence. Due diligence is done in three areas. One is financial, then legal, secretarial. Secretarial, you will know whether they are complying with all the ROC matters or not. Legal, you will find out any pending cases, litigations. Financial, you know the health of the company. So without doing this, nobody will, forget a takeover. A strategic investor also will not come to a company without doing these diligences. And these expenses are borne by the person who wants the money. Correct? You select your own due diligence people, you can give it to reputed companies who are merchant bankers or investment bankers who are doing these services. Or if you are very smart enough, you can have your own chartered accountant for financials, your own company secretary for that, and your known lawyer for that. So diligence is taken care. After that, diligence only do you come to valuations. Valuations, there are industry-specific multiples. For this industry so much, this industry so much, finance industry so much. So these valuations are laid by the investment bankers over a period of time through their common practices. That will prevail. Plus they'll expect some premium for the company which they are handing over. And the last question, there is no marketplace because this is not a thing, it's not a commodity which is traded in the market. There will be buyers, there will be people who are acquiring. The best people are either these brokers or merchant bankers or chartered accountants.
So after the due diligence is done, does the ROC issue a clean bill of health that, yeah, this company...
When the diligence, he is doing corporate diligence, That company secretary will give that he has gone through all the records in the ROC filings and he doesn't find anything adverse. If any adverse remark, non-filings, he will say it's a non-filing. So first he will make the company to file. All these things, deficiencies will be covered by them. He is charging for that. He will not only tell you what is lacking, he will also tell you what is deficient and what should be done. So before you take the company, you will see that all those formalities are completed. You take on a clean slate.
ROC doesn't issue a NOC.
ROC will never give. ROC will give only report what is available there.
No NOC will be given.
Don't expect anything from the government. They will never give you.
Thank you.
My question is, last 3 years, how many NBFC has been license given by RBI? So I hear that lots of NBFC are freely, and then how many license approximate has come from this last?
This number is difficult to say because RBI got many offices in India, 5-6 offices. So even we will not know how many will be issued by Chennai also. But I think from Chennai office in the last 6 months, Chennai RBI should have given at least 5 to 10 licenses. That was 5, I was told. But we don't know how many are issued from Calcutta, Bangalore, Bombay, because they got various offices. If you ask me on a very crude estimate, I think all offices put together maybe about 50 licenses a month. Corporate houses are taking, almost all the corporate houses have got NBFC today. They've got for 2 reasons. One is they are in the business because business is lucrative. Second, they need it for their own fund transfer here and their intercorporate deposits. Questions, if members have got any instances to share, ऐसा कोई situation which you have handled and which is worth sharing, what difficulty you faced, how you overcome the difficulty, or anything specific to your area.
As a NBFC, we are registered with FIU. And at FIU, we are as a reporting entity. So now a income tax mail is coming. As an entity, you have to file Form 61B. So is it compulsory for all or is there any exemption?
These mails have been received by all the NBFCs now.
Okay.
My simple advice is, as a finance company, as an NBFC, you get registered with the registering authority. Even if you don't have any transaction report, file a nil report. I've been doing that for the last 2-3 years. Every year we file a nil report. So I received the same notice from a Delhi office. Now they are sending from Delhi. No, it's once in a year you file. Once in a year. My auditor told me surprisingly how they are sent from Delhi because it's not our jurisdiction at all. Your jurisdiction is Calcutta, my jurisdiction is Chennai. But anyway, because it's a government authority and they have got a mail which is a group mail, they are sent to hundreds of mail. So what best is you always file a yearly return saying nil. So what I did was, I said I am already registered with FIU. I took the screenshots of the last 2 years returns filed. I filed it. They have closed it. No, from where you got the mail, please give a reply that you are a non-deposit. You are non-depositing.
Yeah, non-depositing.
I am a non-depositing company NBFC. These provisions are not applicable to me. However, I have filed these returns, which are nil returns. I am enclosing a screenshot for your perusal.
Nil return of what? FIU?
If you have filed already 61A, have you filed 61A?
At FIU? Or where?
Yeah.
That screenshot has to be given. Okay.
If you are not filed, I'll tell you how to first file that 61A.
Okay.
Screenshot that you can send them.
Okay. Thank you.
Wind up or members want to share some information? Sir, Kerala yaravadu pesa virumringa? Kerala situations, what's happening, how we are doing, how we are managing Money Lenders Act, people from Andhra, any problems from Money Lenders Act, from revenue authorities, from or RTO connected, or you have solved a difficult case.
They are insisting for higher purchase.
Sir, in Kerala we are not facing much of trouble from money lending license perspective. I have a question regarding this debt rising. In the morning session, we have seen many products like subdebt, NCDs, refinancing bonds, overdraft, ECBs, CPs, PDI, etc. Is there a specific list that we have these many products available in the debt segment, and probably we need to comply with these provisions like that?
Generally, people with experience in fundraising will be able to tell you. If required, FIPA can send a detailed report on what are the avenues that are available.
I think again, see there is no one model, one suit all. If you take ECB, you've got certain qualifications, otherwise you cannot go for ECB. A commercial paper has got a minimum size. If you don't need that amount, or if you are not able to raise that amount, you cannot go for that paper. Something like what suits you. The best is your own advisor who is raising funds for you, depending on your size and your requirement and your tenure which you require. It's based on that. No general prescription will not work. Only one thing I can share here is I think small companies of asset size up to 300 crores, 400 crores, who don't go much aggressively to the market, they rely more on NCDs, bank borrowings, something like that, private equities.
Direct assignment, securitization. These are the avenues that we normally would be looking at. Bigger NBFCs, the other products are available. Even if we go into the market, there may not be many takers for that.
And for other bigger products, you need, competent rating also. If you are not AAA, BB, or something like that, you cannot go to the market also.
Sir, in Tamil Nadu, we are now getting smart cards after registering a vehicle or doing TO. We are not able to verify the authenticity of the vehicle. We are not able to check the photo, passport size photo or signature or chase print of the vehicle. Previously, in the printed RC, we were able to verify the chassis number, photo and this signature of the customer. Now we are not able to do that. How to do that if we want to do it now?
Yeah, this is a new situation which has come to our knowledge. In last meeting also we have discussed that. We are going to take up the matter with them. For the time being, you can only search in the portal or get that B extract register copy, something like that only can be done. But this is a genuine problem.
One.com M Parivar, you can check up in that, cross check with that. And engine number, chest number is also mentioned in this smart card. And once the TO is done, they mention the TO, that the vehicle has been done TO with the smart card. HP cancellation, they say HPTR, HPN is mentioned and HP cancellation will be done in that.
No, his concern is photo and signature.
Photo, why? See, photo you have to cross check with the Aadhaar card. You just give me a smart card, you give me a PAN card, you give me Aadhaar card. Cross check with that, the name and everything is tallies, then that's fine with that. Now the smart card, when this comes, you cannot fix a photo, signature. Why they hide the signature also? Because nobody can misuse the signature of the hirer, that owner. Otherwise, what they generally do, brokers, அவங்களே sign போட்டுறாங்க, அவங்களே sign பண்ணி அவங்களே TO பண்ணி கொடுத்துறாங்க. That is also come. So you can, one.com is very safe and a smart card is also very safe in that. And easy to go about the job also. Except one thing, some of the RT office, they don't punch the smart card. Once they issue the second smart card, the first card is not punched. That is also given as it is and this is also given as it is. So the difficulty is there. For that, we have to check with the one.com, then you have to proceed with that. All right, this is one which is have to be used. And they don't mention the date also which they issue the smart card. No date is also mentioned in the smart card. There no date is mentioned. Huh? Big mistake. Yeah, but you have to go only the one.com. Thank you, sir.
So from Kerala, there are a lot of companies going for gold loans. These regulating authorities, RBI and all, do they allow loans, give loans for digital gold? Do you know anything about it?
You want to know whether they can give gold loans on digital gold. I don't think there is a provision for that. Of course, we don't have members here from FCA chairman is Mr. George Muthoot, who is doing aggressively gold finance. But
They haven't gold for that. They haven't gold so far.
But you tell me one thing, if I'm a finance company who's lending on gold, I would like to have physical gold with me. Otherwise, if your question, if suppose I go on digital gold, then I must have a mechanism whereby I can create a lien on that. Okay, digital gold is held in. So, no, can I mark a lien in that DP account?
Sir, adding to that, digital gold is almost held in demat accounts.
Demat form, yeah.
So you can create a lien.
I can create a lien.
Yeah. Anything is in demat, you can create a lien with the NSDL or the particular authority. It should be possible, 100%.
So, suppose I got a license for that. Can I do a lending on digital gold as per RBI's license which I have obtained from them?
Sure. It is
Secondly,
equivalent, sir. I have not done it practically, but gold in any form, it should be taken as gold.
No, but it's
as
not
per the
yet
rule.
there, I guess. It's not yet there.
Secondly, okay, how do we address that issue? I think NBFCs, even those NBFCs lending against gold, they have to take local pawnbrokers license for Tamil Nadu. It is like that.
Yeah.
So they take. So Tamil Nadu Pawnbrokers Act doesn't permit that. They don't have to take state loans, state licenses. Not necessary. Then I think this. Then I think if RBI doesn't prohibit, it's a good way of doing things because it saves your problem of keeping lockers, safe deposits. Lien is very easy to mark. No, but the problem is, I'll tell you one thing. Families own gold only in physical forms, which has been a habit of Indian culture. Only these new age people, new techies, they all hold only in that. And it is not to be quoted on an open forum. Gold is always bought by cash. So it will be kept only physically. Correct? People who are holding gold in demat form is only who buy through credit cards or bank checks and all. But this is a good, it's a good thought. If digital gold is permitted to be pledged, I think we are taking away many problems. Theft will be, there's no theft, no east.
I feel the demat, the brokerages, they should be open to do this because they let the data out. They usually don't let the data out very easily, like Beat Zerodha or Grow. Very hard for them to give it out so easily.
No. The customer will come, he will say, this is my DP account, you mark a lien. Why should I take from the DP? If I sell my shares, I would only say, where is my DP? Why should I say, why should my DP tell me that I am holding the shares or not? The customer will come with his DP holding statement. I will see the statement. I will mark a lien by sending a letter.
Is this digital gold is 22 karat or 24 karat gold?
Physical,
generally, there is a restriction with RBI 24 karat gold.
Yeah, it's 24. What you get on MCX prices, that gold is.
What I'm saying is, RBI doesn't allow to lend on 24 karat. We have to lend only to ornaments, not to pure format of gold.
You mean to say you cannot lend on metals?
RBI doesn't allow.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I
That's a good point.
But is there any regulatory change?
No, but then if you say, I will interpret different way. I can lend on ornaments.
Lend on 24 karat.
No, that's what. No, I cannot lend on. No, there are assayers who will give the certificate.
That's why RBI doesn't permit that. Maybe that's the main thing.
No, for ornament also the same question. There is an appraiser.
Ornament you can
There is an appraiser in the bank who appraises.
Yes. Ornament
you
can
got
appraise.
Assayer who will give the assaying certificate.
It's difficult to appraise other metal.
No, I think his point is different. He says, you are not permitted to hold certain metals. So you cannot lend on that.
Yes, it's not that we cannot hold it. It is because normally there's a sentimental value is there for gold. So this RBI once says that it can be these ornaments only can be pledged. That's because they will take it back.
The point we are discussing is, can we lend on digital gold?
Yeah.
Digital gold is held in 24 karat form. So if you want to lend on for a 24 karat gold, is it permitted as per regulation? According to Sriman, you cannot lend. So that is one, okay, let me complete. The second point is, again, in case of default, you have to sell. A process has to be set in place where you can sell, like you sell shares placed to you, you sell them off. Like gold is held in the demat form, you should be able to sell and there should be people to buy, and then the formalities for the sale process has to be established. If it is already established, you can go ahead. Sorry, you were saying
Sir,
something.
in fact, this sovereign gold bonds is definitely in the form of
But that is for
demat-
banks.
demat
That is for
segment.
banks, not
Demat-
for lending. That's not money. That is for banks.
So that is also basically public can also subscribe into, sir.
Yeah, you can
Public can
subscribe,
also do that.
but they are not being lent on that. Here we are lending. There we are buying and holding them.
I can actually mark this particular SGBs as my collateral. I can give loans against that. Probably one need not to take that as a gold loan segment. I can do it otherwise also as a gold against security,
No,
right?
there's a difference, a subtle difference what he's selling. See, he has got a demat form. So there's a DP holder. You can mark a lien. Here you're holding a certificate.
Yeah.
There's no provision for entering endorsement on the certificate.
Okay.
If I am a certificate holder,
Yeah.
I pledge it with you. Okay? You don't have any official marking on the certificate as that is blocked somewhere. Tomorrow I go to my bank and say, I lost my certificate, I want to redeem the gold.
Right.
I can redeem and go.
Okay.
So where is your safety of that endorsement, which is available in the case of online, this DP holding, demat. Here it's not, he is not demat, but it's not physical, not demat, it's in a third form.
That's true, that's true. So there are ETFs also. Probably one can look at that.
See, earlier, it is something like earlier you used to get loans on physical share certificates, correct?
Yeah.
But you used to have a TD form.
Yes.
So in this gold certificate, if there is a provision which says that it is transferable, and if you take a purchase form, I don't know because I've not gone through that, you can examine that.
Probably, yeah.
If gold certificate, they
But even
permit-
ETF can be done like that because similar like a shares only, that is credited to our demat
No,
account.
but again, ETF is in demat account.
That's very true.
Here you are holding a physical certificate.
Correct.
So this is third form.
Yeah.
Physical gold, demat, and physical certificate. So this is third form you're talking.
Thank you.
A question regarding vehicle loan. We discussed about registration and how the registration can be checked through Vaughan, and several state governments also have websites against which you can validate. Is there something similar for vehicle insurance that as hire purchase financiers that we can validate against?
We didn't understand what you wanted.
So for the vehicle registration, today we are able to validate it with portals of state governments, right? So you can go to different state governments or platforms like Vahan.
So you want to know the validity of the insurance?
Yeah. But
Whether
for
the certificate is genuine or not.
Correct. But for vehicle insurance, is there similar?
Jangda, sir, Gautam sir Jangda, you can reply. He wants to know, a customer comes with the insurance certificate in hand.
Insurance.
He might have done the insurance, he would have returned the check.
No, there's. But whether the insurance is valid.
Insurance is linked to Vahan, sir.
No, 1 second. His question is, insurance is linked to Vahan. I'll tell you one thing. I do insurance today for because many insurance companies are seeing these fellows who are brokers who are doing the insurance business, they want business. You kudupa check kudipo, na police board kuttara, naalik insurance office Saturday leave, Sunday leave, na Monday da bank la poduven, Wednesday theriyum.
Sir, the policy is not issued till the check is cleared.
Sir, they are issuing. Once the check is given, they are issuing. Earlier they used to give cover notes.
I think Madan Lalji Nahar, our insurance specialist, can address.
Thank you very much, friends, for giving me an opportunity to address these lovely people before me. Madam, you too, all of you. Insurance, if a check is given and later it is dishonored, that means there is no insurance and no claim will be entertained. So this kind of cheating which has been done earlier is not the way, and financiers have got to be careful, and they can do one thing. They can, if they really want to know whether it is in force, in that case, we as the insurance brokers can help you. Thank you.
His reply answers the question. The insurance company is not liable if the check is returned. You cannot say that, boss, you have issued me a certificate. He says, it is check subject to, you also give a receipt. Customer says, you are going to receipt. Bottom note says, check subject to realization.
Original question was whether, like Vahan, insurance policy, can it be verified? As far as we recollect, I don't think there is any website where you can go and check the insurance. But it is a good suggestion if it can be represented to GSC, but all these things have to be uploaded. That's a good suggestion. We can write to them. But as of now, it is not there.
Yes, I think, yeah, we'll, yes, sir. So thank you very much, sir. We had leading industry veterans with us. They have answered the questions. If anyone has any further questions, they can write to us at fipa1972@gmail.com and we'll try and put it forward to them. Suggestions also is what they're recommending. Thank you, sir, for your time. Thank you.